back from the dead.
Are you ready? Let's go.
Back from the dead.
We're back from the dead.
Hell yeah.
We're back from the dead. Back from the dead. Back from the dead. Back from the dead.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're all invited to go fucking mental on this motherfucking drop. The countdown has just begun. Are you ready? Let's go.
Now we're back from the dead. We're back from the dead.
Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. And I think I have multi-streaming finally working today. Thank God. We're checking all the streams and everywhere. So I should be on YouTube, I should be on Facebook right now, and I should be on Twitch finally. That was a fiasco. As you guys know, I was switched from Restream, which is a program that you use as a Twitch streamer. That worked for us for a long time. Like, I used it for a couple of years, and I don't know what happened, to be honest. I don't know why it stopped working. So we had tried to like disconnect everything, reconnect, and we went to Streamlabs.
You're muted.
No, I'm not. I'm not muted. My microphone's bouncing. Check mic 1, check mic. Cat can hear me, right? Okay. Well, anyway, sorry.
Yeah, you're good to go.
Okay, Cat can hear me. So, okay. What was my brain saying? It's been a long week. My brain has turned to goo. Where was I leaving off at? So we're multi-streaming on Restream now, and hopefully we're good to go. Thank God. This will also be uploaded as a podcast, and it will also be edited and uploaded as a like regular podcast vlog on the YouTube channel. So we are live right now on YouTube, but I will also upload this as an actual video on YouTube. The reason I do that is some people don't know how to go to the live page channel tab on our YouTube page. So I want everybody to be able to access the streams every way possible. So I'm gonna bring in my fancy co-host. You know what I'm saying? Where's my cat, CORMIER?
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Miss Cat?
Doing very well. It's rainy and cold here in
Is
New
it?
Hampshire.
Really?
So yeah.
Goodness. It's not here. It's a good like 70 degrees or so.
Ooh.
It's 74 here. Yeah. So We have a few things to sort of chat about today. This is a super casual chat. This is not a typical paranormal chat that you guys are used to hearing about. You know, there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that goes into our paranormal chats behind the scenes. Elfie is now doing all of our research for us. You know, it's what she did with Paranormal State. That's what she's good at. That's what she thrives at. And that's what she's doing now for all of our paranormal podcasts. She's also going to start helping me organize the podcasts on the backside of Cat's super loud is what I'm being told. So I'm going to turn Cat down. So let me know if Cat stays loud. So anyway, we are working a lot. And one of the first things that I want to sort of touch base on today is turn me up a little bit. Okay. Sorry, production team is like always on me for everything. And I'm blessed for my team. Thanks. Shout out to everybody that's a part of my production team behind the scenes, helping me make sure we're running smoothly. First of all, our life changed dramatically last week. Really over the past couple of weeks, but most definitely last week. Something amazing has happened to Kat and I, and we are not at liberty to discuss it due to contracts and NDAs, which are non-disclosure agreements. And you'd think I'm happy, trust me. Like, I know I'm not smiling when I say that. I'm over the moon about life at the moment. It's what's happening, and when I can announce it, I will. Yeah, it was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears where we're at right now, and I'm really wanting to enjoy the journey. It's been a long week, and I'm facing many more long weeks with that journey. So the first announcement I want to make is, about a month ago, I had talked about putting subscriptions on our channel for YouTube. I had previous subscriptions for us on Twitch and previous subscription for us on Patreon. I shut our Patreon page down because I wasn't able to keep up with it, because it's just, and that was a great decision, Kat. Wow.
It was.
That was almost bad. You know what I mean? Like, whoa! Been in trouble.
Hey, experience, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, we loved Patreon, and shout out to my subs, but I could not keep up with it. Kat and I were balancing it, and it was just not working. So Patreon went. I was then setting up subscriptions for Twitch Twitch was a long time subscription. I still have some of you guys as subscribers on there. Shout out to you guys for supporting us still. And then I set up subscriptions for YouTube. I am now going to be disabling subscriptions to YouTube. And that's because there's something really, really big happening behind the scenes, and we will not be able to maintain subscriptions now. I am sorry I set up subscriptions, because I was not ready, and very surprised out of the blue. Our life was going to take such a hard right turn in a very positive way. It's like, we know that story about that right turn, okay?
We're not going to talk about the hard right turn. Okay?
There's a story behind that. We're not going to share it, okay?
No, it's fine.
Great. But yeah, like, it did, right? Like, we weren't expecting our life to just, something happened a couple weeks ago. An amazing thing happened, and I can't talk about it. And
that stinks.
Yeah, I know. It's like, let me tell you what happened. Nothing. I can't tell you how. No, watch my social media for updates. I can tell you that. Anyway, subscriptions are going to be turned off, and that's because I can't do anything about it right now. I would love to have subscriptions. I would love to have extra videos. There's going to be a point in time that maybe I'll be able to hire a video editor behind the scenes. Actually, let me take that back. I will be hiring a video editor for YouTube, period. Okay? Ben is going to be doing my editing behind the scenes, but not yet. And so maybe if Ben comes on, we'll be able to set up subscriptions again for like behind the scenes cool stuff footage. But I need an editor to do that job, because I'm not going to have time for that job anymore. So that's why we're canceling subscriptions. I'm sorry to anybody that signed up for subscriptions. There's a few people. I'm in the process of sending, you got the tier where you're getting a signed autograph from me. That will still be coming in the mail, so don't worry. I have your names on the list. I know that you've emailed me your subscription tiers, so do not fret about that. They will be in the mail. But do not panic if you see the cancellation come from YouTube. So that's one thing, okay? Second little thing that I kind of just want to chat about, because I really feel like this journey has been amazing. Good, bad, and everything in between. You guys have seen my journey literally from the beginning, and I have been very honest and forward about all of the trials and tribulations that I've been through, trying to get the series signed and losing comrades and people that were on the team. So you guys, you've seen the behind the scenes of creating what it takes to create a series and a show. And this week, Kat and I, after we had such amazing news and things really changed, like massively in our life, we lost some people in our life. We lost some friends. And Kat and I had, I'd say we've had a good 4 or 5 days where Kat and I have had to do some meditation, some serious inner work, because we kind of came to this realization, and I'm going to let Kat tangent for a minute when I get done with mine. We came to this realization of there were some people in our life that like to see us struggle and like to see us be like constantly trying to crawl up the ladder. And then finally, when we get that good news, they're like, oh, they're happier than me. Like, now I don't want to be a part of your life. Bye. And it happened with a lot of people, and that includes some crew members. And I mean, I'm not saying this hasn't happened before, because I've talked about this publicly, where like your worst enemy is somebody you know. Your worst enemy is a friend from the past, a current friend, or a family member who is incredibly jealous to the point where they are talking some mad smack. Your biggest fan is somebody that's silent. They're not even talking. You don't even know who your biggest fan is. So, and I've accepted that a really long time ago. But there were some people that have been involved in our crew for many years that we weren't really anticipating. I really think people have heard me talk about the series for so long, and seeing me fail and fail and fail, fail's probably not the best word to use. Encountering mountains, encountering roadblocks. Yep. And I think they got comfortable with seeing me hit roadblock after roadblock, that they didn't expect that I would ever find a door that was open, that was waiting for me. And we lost some crew members. And so, Kat, like, put your 2 cents in on it, like how, this is just the real raw truth behind the scenes of like what happens when you make something of yourself.
It is. And, big dreams like this and making movements in, the film and like paranormal world don't happen overnight. Big things like this happen with hurdles and lessons and good moments and bad moments. And, when you find a crew that can kind of have an understanding of that road, it works great. But sometimes you have people along your path that it just doesn't resonate like that. And it's, piggybacking off of what Krystal said, that, when you talk about having these dreams for so long and you hit like these roadblocks, and, again, everything happens in divine timing. So it just wasn't the right time, thinking back on it now from like a healed meditative place. Mm-hmm. But Krystal and I were talking about it, and it reached a point where, these good things happen, and it's like no one believes it's actually happening. And that's hard. Mm-hmm. That's hard because, Krystal's done nothing but hustle for 11 years. More than 11. No, it's been 11 years, right?
This month, so March of 2021, mm-hmm. is my anniversary for Paranormal Challenge.
Oh, wow.
It has been 10 years almost to the date that I was accepted on Paranormal Challenge for Travel Channel, and it has been 10 years of hustle. Now, theoretically, I didn't start the YouTube channel till about 2012, 2013. So I would say it's been a good 7 years of really pushing Ghost Girl Diaries in every direction possible. Mm-hmm. But yes, my professional paranormal film journey has been a solid 10 years to the date. 10 years to the date.
Wow. But that's so full circle too, with everything going on. But it's hard when you have to have those tough conversations and really see the truth behind some of the actions of these people that were genuinely not out there for your best interest, or started out seeming like they were out for your best interest, and when it didn't pan out in their favor or fast enough for them, that's when things started to not go well.
Well, it's also like they enjoyed seeing my misery almost.
They did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And, to them, they would see it as like fail, but, to you, and having been on this journey for so long, it's just part of it. It's just part of the journey, you know, and you've just got to keep going. But, you know, they thoroughly enjoyed ganging up.
Seeing
on,
the pain.
You know, and, you know, and yep.
Yeah, it's
and
like, oh,
almost
Krystal's suffering. She's like tried and nothing's working. She's a girl in paranormal. She's been trying for 10 years. It's never going to happen at this point. Like, she needs to let it go. We're going to pretend like we support her and be here for her. And then when like some negotiations start to go well, it's like, oh, we don't want you to see you happy. We're going to take an exit. Because we only want to be around the person that's sort of below us, not above us. Not that I ever consider myself above anyone, because I am the most humble person you'll ever meet. Even considering all the people I know, the things I've done, investigations I've done, networks I've worked with, like, I'm very humble. I understand where I came from. My mom was a struggling single parent, and I will never forget how I was raised. But people like to see misery.
Yeah, and I think mixed with that, the acknowledgement of realizing that they were kind of rooting for the downfall, but also wanted to just keep in on the circle, because if it did go well, they wanted to say,
piggyback.
Oh, I know this person, or I know this and that. But that's like the gaslighting aspect of it, where, you know, it just becomes a toxic situation. And you know, we were thinking about all of these things in the journey as a whole. And it'll be 3 years for me with GGD in July. And even just thinking about like how much I've learned and observed in 3 years from Krystal and these experiences, it really just goes to show you that, you know, people fell off for a reason. And no animosity, nothing. But, you know, it just really shows you that true intentions do come forward eventually. The truth comes to light eventually.
Yeah, there's a repeating thing that I've experienced with people that I've hired in the past, and I hate to say it, but I think everybody involved that is no longer involved has the same ideology. I would assume Kat would agree with me. And the ideology is that I want to be famous and I want it to happen overnight. And I've never been in this for the fame, and I've never been in this for the money. And I've never been in it for it to happen overnight, because if that were the case, I would have signed 7 contracts ago that I already had offered to me. And every single person that's fallen off the bandwagon up to this point has been like, oh, free ride, free money, a lot of money. We're going to be on television. I'm going to be famous. It's really always about the fame with people. And that's really what's hard to find, like, true intentions with people, because it's never been about the fame with me. I didn't realize, like, my position with Ghost Girl Diaries was going to be such a trailblazing change in the paranormal industry. And then when you finally find a professional team of people who see exactly what you've done and what you're trying to do, and they see the message that's trying to be interpreted and incorporated with this, it's on a much larger scale. And I've never been around people that see that, you know, that see, like, I feel like for so long, going on 10 years on this journey, you know, explaining to myself, like, there's 95% men in paranormal, and then on top of that, like, there's 100% practically men in executive production roles that just don't want to listen to me because I'm a woman. And it's so frustrating because I just keep hitting a wall. And eventually, like, you have days where you feel like you're in a psych ward, and you're in a padded room screaming at the top of your lungs. Why won't anyone hear me? Why can't anyone listen to me? And it's just because of my gender. And it's been a horrible journey. Like, there are some things you guys will never know about, because you wouldn't even believe some of the things that I've been through. Clearly, I need to go through those things to create the strong person that I am today. Because I'm telling you, what I'm about to do here ain't for the weak. You can't come in here a squish ball being a woman in paranormal and film. I'm going to be taking some serious heat when things get where they need to be. Especially from men in the industry, because even men investigators swarms next to women. And so I'm preparing myself. I'm preparing myself for the media. I'm preparing myself for a lot of things. So I am happy and grateful for the tough things that I've been through. But it's not without sacrifice. You know, like, there's nights you can ask Kat, I'm on the phone bawling my eyes out with her. Should I just quit? Should I just walk away? You know, like, damn, I've invested for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 10 years. Do I just walk away? At what point do I throw the keys in? I'm tired. Should I just start having kids and a family and just be like the typical American dream? Are my dreams too big because that's what everybody's told me my whole life? Krystal, you think way too high up here. Like, you know, even in paranormal, I've had toxic masculinity men in paranormal telling me you're never going to make it. And thus far, they've been pretty damn right. Honestly. So, you know, you have those days where you're like, am I going to make it out of this? Am I going to be able to create it? But then you have days where you find that fire. And you find that fire deep within you. And you're like, I have to keep going. Because, like, if it's been 10 years for me, who's to say there's another girl that comes along and she's going to have just as long a journey, if not longer? Someone's got to break the ceiling. Somebody's got to do it. And I've been here struggling for 10 years trying to break the ceiling. And I'm trying to break it not just for myself. This isn't me against everyone else. This is me standing up for all women in paranormal that are interested in it, because we should have just as fair and objective in creating filmmaking, directing, creating storylines, allowing entities to tell their own stories as any other male or anyone in this industry, LGBT included. Mm-hmm. And it's been very frustrating. And then when you finally make some headway with negotiations or trying to figure out which direction to take your next step, and you find that momentum again that you feel like you lost for a while, and then people around you are like, oh, she's strong again, let's just make an exit. Let's just, I like her when she's sad and depressed and below me. I don't like her when she's like vibing at high vibrations. And yes, you're right, those people need to fall off, you know, because it's supposed to be that way. But it doesn't, you can't say it doesn't hurt.
Of course it hurts. Of course it hurts. And, you know, there should be equality in just everything, you know, that it shouldn't have to be fought this hard to break out.
This should not have been a 10-year fight. This is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. This is absolutely ridiculous. 10-year fight for me to be a woman filmmaker in paranormal. This is ridiculous.
It is. And just knowing that, you know, the things that are to come with a group of people that appreciate the hard work that was put in really makes the world.
It is true.
Of a different.
And really, like, the biggest message that I have for anybody, any little girls out there that ever wanted to be something, doesn't have to be a paranormal investigator. You can do it, but, like, it's hard. Like, you can't give up. Like, you better get some strong willpower, and you better be prepared for every single person in your life, family, best friends included, to tell you no, you can't. You're going to hear you can't do it 99.99% of the time. So for me to overcome that with my own voice, with that 0.01%, that was enough. That was all I needed. I only needed myself. So anything is possible if you put your mind to it and you put the work in and you don't let society and the norms of everyone around you tear you down just because you're a girl. Ooh, it pisses me off so bad.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And, you know, even those that didn't want to see you succeed, it shouldn't even be a fight between them and you. You know, like there shouldn't be, there's room for everybody. Mm-hmm. You know, but somebody has to be the one to break through it, to have those opportunities to come forward, you know? Mm-hmm. And it's just, it's been a road. Mm-hmm. It's been a road.
I'm really happy I can now take a position where it's not going to be, I'm not going to be fighting wars for a while.
Yeah.
I'm really thrilled about that. It's going to be I get to now enjoy the journey and not feel like I have armor on, except I still have my armor on, so come at me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm ready. Yeah. I pull that armor out of the closet at any moment, okay?
Here.
All right, so now we're gonna get to some tea. Do you have any tea? Ooh. I only have sparkling water today.
I don't think I didn't bring anything in here. I think my drink's in the living room.
Are you gonna make it? Jesus.
Yeah, I think I'll be okay.
I hope Kat's gonna get fired up. She's gonna word vomit everywhere. She's like, get the Aries to just, you know, breathe in and breathe out.
I have my fan ready to go in case I get like really hot. Because I'm like literally, I'm just saying, I don't know if there are any other Aries out there that get like really hot, like temperature wise. take the fire aspect out of it, but I'm just ready to put the fan on because I'm fine.
I'm gonna be fine and ready. So I gave you a call yesterday, and I said some strange things went down at the museum.
Why am I laughing? Yes.
Now let's just back the truck up for a second, okay? You've been to the museum with me.
Yeah.
What was this is the Haunted Museum in Las Vegas. What was your experience at the museum? Lovely?
Yeah.
Everything, right? Like the whole thing.
Yeah, it was beautiful, really well crafted, brilliant design, everything. It was really great. I thought it was.
I can't tell you how many times I've been to the museum, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you've been a lot.
I've been to the museum before it opened. I was invited down privately and personally by Zach a few times to see different things he was working on in the museum. I was there, didn't I go opening day? I think I went opening day. I took a picture with Aaron. He was there. And then beyond that, I've been there, like, I mean, it's got to be at least 20 times at this point. Like, it's got to be at least 20 times or more. And I mean, even after it was open, like, I've never had a negative experience. And I'm always bragging about the museum, you know, like I have friends everywhere being in production and film, like, you know, people. And if people come in town, I'm like, oh my God, like, they're like, what should we do? Is there something fun to do? Go to the museum. Like, it's just such a good experience. Like, so cool. Like, it gives you a paranormal experience without being like totally scared, you know, like, go to the museum. And people love it. And sometimes I'll have friends in town. So this weekend I had some friends in town. I am not name dropping anybody because these people are in high places. One of them they're both producers. One of them is a producer for a celebrity. And when I say celebrity, you compare it to Zach, who's like the biggest in paranormal. He's got like 1 million followers on Twitter. I'm talking about celebrity status. This person works for like a 16 million follower person. 20 million followers, 30 million followers. This person's in high places, okay? And, I'm not even up there. Like, no, you know. And so, we'll see. We'll kind of
manifest
we have
it.
Another fight to go up another ladder, but I'm ready.
The armor.
But that's the difference between, like, Zach's is celebrity on the reality TV side versus, like, an actual actress or an actor like The Rock or something, you know, like with a massive following. Like, this person works with someone with a massive following. Okay, so my 2 producer friends are there with me, and you can't buy tickets online. It doesn't really tell you like what to do online, so I decided to call a couple of times. Wasn't sure if they had changed it, like reservations. Doesn't really tell you what to do, what you should do, like. So I called the museum a couple of times over the weekend to try to make reservation of 3. Nobody answered the phone, and I tried it like different times, different days. They're closed on like I think Tuesdays and Wednesdays, or Wednesdays and Thursdays, something like that. So I didn't call on the days they were closed. Nobody's answering the phone, so I'm like, okay, well, I don't know, nobody's answering, so like let's just meet up, go down there. Now, every single time in the past that I've gone to the museum, I have called or texted Zach and let him know I was coming. Now, I didn't feel the need to do that today, or, yesterday when I went, for a lot of reasons. I don't know. We haven't really spoke, first of all. Second of all, I've been really busy, like awkwardly busy, and I just, like, I was afraid. I didn't want to come across rude, like I was being needy about getting in the museum or something, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to thinking I'm using him for the museum access or what, like, he has his life, I have my life, and it's just the way it is, you know what I mean? And so I showed up at the museum, and now here's the thing. When I figured out, when I let Zach know that I'm coming to the museum, he puts his staff on like a huge red flag. Krystal from Ghost Girl Diaries is here. Everybody better act right. Don't act like an idiot. He gives me the best tour experience. I have the best tour guides. Like, I get the treatment, when I'm there. And I didn't warn anybody when I went because I just didn't want to. You know what I mean? I just didn't want to. So I show up, meet my friends there. They're really excited. They've never been to the museum. We park in the back lot. There's nobody around, by the way. Like, there's a couple people sitting at, like, a table in the back. That's where you're going to check in now. There's no... It's not like there's lines and troves of people. I think there was, like, maybe one or two... There was, like, a security guard in the back. Nobody's waiting in line. Like, it's literally the three of us. There's cars there, so I'm assuming people are inside. But, like, nobody... It's not like there's, like, 400 people outside waiting to get in. You know what I mean? And I assume that's because of, you know, pandemic.
The panini.
The panini. You know what I mean? Like, we're in a panini.
We're in a panini.
We're in a Corona panini.
Actually sounds like a good mixture. I'm not gonna lie.
Like, Corona's not bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not.
So, I meet my friends. We walk up to the table that's waiting out there. I was sort of blown away by the people sitting behind the table. So there's a couple of females working at the museum sitting behind the table.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what the hell was going on, to be honest with you. Now, once again, when I'm on site with the museum, like, everybody's kissing my booty, and, like, I don't really want that, you know what I mean? Just, like, be chill, like, do your thing, be at work, you know what I mean? Like, but, like, I do expect customer service. Like, you're paying $50 or more a pop to get in the museum. Yeah, like, I feel like that's an expensive attraction for Vegas. Like, that's as much as a decent club is in Vegas. Not that even if you're paying a $10 ticket, you should be treated like crap. You know what I mean? But, like, $50 more is a lot. Plus, my friends are...
service.
Yeah, well, my friends are from out of town, so theirs were more. You know, like, I had a Nevada state ID, so I got, like, a discount. So I walk up to the table. I'm like, hey, you know, like, we would love to go in the museum. Once again, no one's around. Nobody. Not a soul. So I'm like, hey, I'd like to come in the museum. Oh, well. This girl working there, her name was like Brianna, I don't know, Bree was what they kept calling her.
Yeah.
Well, apparently she didn't like me from the get-go. And I don't know her, by the way. I had my mask on, so she couldn't see my face. She is extremely combative and wants to pick a fight with me for absolutely no reason. If you're don't ask me why in the comment section, because I can't answer it. I think it was one of those things where, like, your energy just doesn't mix with someone else's energy, and she was just gonna treat me like crap, is really how I felt. Yeah. So, I mean, she's shouting, like, real, like, angry, like, she's, like, talking like this, like, her teeth are gritted, and she's, like, she's mad. And I'm like, what the heck? Hi, good afternoon, welcome to the Haunted Museum, how are you?
Oh my God.
You know, like, I just walked up to the table, are you okay? Like, are you having a seizure? Like, what's going on here?
We need some Jesus, ma'am.
So she hates me for, and once again, she doesn't know who I am. My face is covered. And she's like, you can't get in here. We have a wait list till next week. And I'm looking around the parking lot like...
Tumbleweed rolls by. Like, literally.
But nobody's here.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like, maybe they did, you know, I'm not disputing that. You know, like, fine. Mm-hmm. But I said, okay... and so my friends are with me. I'm taking mine. They're producers in high places. They're very assertive like I am. And they're even looking around the parking lot like, there's no soul here. Like, maybe they're booked with energies. I don't know. Maybe it's a bunch of ghosts, you know. And so I'm like, okay, do you have, like, a no-call list? Like, if somebody doesn't show up, like, to a tour in the next little bit of time, like, can we get in? Like, if we wait, and she's like, and she's still like, she's like this, like, she's like so mad. She's like, yeah, I do have a wait. But if you leave the premises while you're waiting, you won't be able to get in. And I was like, the F is going on here with this person? Is she possessed? Probably. She needs some holy water? Like, I don't even know what's going, like, what did I do? Is this what they treat people when you walk up to the freaking, you know what I mean? Like, what the hell?
Oh, it's messed up.
I was really, and, like, thank God I have a tough skin, and so did my friends, but we were like, what the hell's going on? What's going on no. And so, and she's like so angry, and she's like, yeah, you can wait, like you can wait on the side. And by the way, when she's talking, she's like screaming at me, projecting so loud that the security guards in the parking lot are staring. Like I'm going to like they need to escort me off the freaking premises.
Wow. That's a little much. A little dramatic.
I mean,
there,
it was like, this is rough. So anyway, I said, okay. Okay. I said, I'll you know, if we'll wait on standby, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, and if you leave the premises, I'll take you off the list. You can't leave my site. You can't leave out of my sight. And I'm just like, this is nuts, bro. Like, this is nuts. Like, I have never, like, encountered some, like, and I've, you know, look, it's a pandemic. People are stressed. I get it. Like, there's, you know, like, you know, I've had people, I go to Walmart to shop, and the cashier's like, thank you for just being so kind and nice. Because, like, there's some not kind, nice people. Essential worker, I get it. Like, I get it. Like, this was more than a bad day, okay? Like, this was, like, flown the cuckoo's nest. I don't even know what's going on here. She, like, hates my guts for, like, no reason, okay? Now, at this point, my producer friends are, like, trying to, like, take off the heat off of me. So she starts talking to them the same way. So I realize it's not just me. Like, she just shouldn't be in customer service. Like, period.
You hate your life. Why don't you just, like, quit? You know what I mean? Like, don't...
And she was arrogant, big person. Like, I work at the Haunted Museum. Come get some. You know what I mean? Like, it was just, like, weird. And so I was like, oh, man, this is bad. Like, this is really bad. And, like, my friends, you know, once again, who are producers working for, like, really big celebrities, like, millions of followers type of celebrities, are like, is this how Zach runs his ship? Is this, like if Zach's a filmmaker, like, this represents him. Is this how he runs his ship? Like, this is his ship. Is he running it this way? Like, he's letting people talk to people like this? Like, you're paying $50 or more per ticket, trying to upsell with a $33 upsell on top of the $50, which is almost $90 with tax, and this is how you're going to talk to people? Your patrons? So now I'm flabbergasted now. I'm now, okay, like, talk to me like shit. Treat me like shit, fine. You know what I mean? Like, I can take it. But you start treating my, like, professional friends this way who are coming for, like, an experience, I'm going to have a problem. And so I paused and I looked at her and I said, you know, if this is going to be a problem, and I wasn't talking about just the tickets and waiting on standby. I was talking about, like, her attitude and the way she was talking to us. I said, I think, you know, I'm professional friends with Zach. And in the past, I have made phone calls or text messages to him about that I'm going to be coming to the museum. I said, I can let him know that I'm here. And that was my way of telling her, like, I think he needs to know what's going on here. Oh, well, that made her more mad. She didn't believe me. She didn't know who I was. She's like, what do you think? Because I work at the museum, I know Zach. I don't know Zach. He doesn't talk to us as employees. And she just, like loses it. Like, literally, like bomb exploded. And I'm sitting there, I said, no, I didn't say you know Zach. I said I can text and talk to Zach and let him know what's going on if there's a problem.
Right.
Yeah, well, how do you know Zach? Da-da-da. And, like, just, I was like, oh, we're not getting anywhere. Like, this is really bad. In the meantime, she's talking crap about me to her employees, like, right in front of them. Like, literally, we're a table space away from each other. She's talking smack about the way we look, making fun of us, all three of us. And, like, and it's carrying on. Then some bigger girl comes out who works at the museum. She's crying because she says she got scratched. She's a tour guide. I think this one girl called her a little bee. She's like cussing. And I'm like, what is this? What the hell is going on? Like, what is this? And so and she's in the meantime still being combative with me. Like, she wants to fight me. Like, and once again, I don't know what the hell I did. Nothing. So I'm standing there with my producer friends, and like, we're at the point where they're like, I think we should just like maybe go. Cause this is, I don't know what's happening here, but this is like uncomfortable. And now I don't even like want to go in. Like, I don't want to give my money, you know?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so I'm standing there, and somebody taps on my shoulder and saves the day. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I turn around, and it's Zach's assistant, Bacon, who I also know. Of course I know him. I love Bacon, by the way. It was so great to see him yesterday. He gave me a hug. He's such a sweetheart, you know? And once again, there's really nobody around other than the people there, you know, like that were, like told you, me and my producer friends and these 3 people working behind the desk, 2 people, whatever. So Bacon's like, oh my God, Krystal, like, how have you been? How are you? I'm like, dude, it's so good to see you. Like, I'm like giving him a hug. I'm like, he's like, yeah, like, pandemic's been bad. I haven't seen you around. Like, usually you're down here sometimes. Like, have you talked to Zach? I'm like, no, I actually haven't talked to Zach. And I turned and looked at this girl, Brianna, whoever she is, and I said, but I just asked Brianna if I should maybe let him know that I'm here. Now, at this time, Bacon didn't know what was unfolding, obviously. So she sees me talking to Bacon, and her face just goes pale. Pale. Like, she's, like, white, because he hugged me, and you know what I mean? Like, pale. Like, she, like, looked sick green. So Bacon's like, did you call, like, did you really let Zach know you're here? I'm like, no, why would I do that? Like, I'm doing my friend, you know, I'm with my friends, I'm doing my thing. Like, I don't need to tell him every time I'm down here, you know, like, we're just chill, like, whatever, you know, I'm like, just with some friends. So Bacon, like, takes off sprinting. I know he went and told everybody I was there. I mean, it was obvious that he did that, which is, it happens usually because they know I'm going to review it and they know I'm going to talk about the museum when I go. And I've never had bad things to say. So now remember where we left off with this Bree girl was we have to wait an hour and a half until they let us in on standby, which is fine. Like, I'm not opposed to the rules. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what I'm upset about. Even if we didn't get in, that's not what I'm upset about. It was like, I have never seen someone, like, the only word I can use is, like, aggressive. Like, she was, like, aggressive. And it wasn't, like, one statement. Like, the whole time I was dealing with her, it was, like, I swear, like, if it would have been a normal person dealing with her, she would have had them leaving in tears. And I'm going to be honest, like, she hurt my feelings. Like, she was talking bad about my friends, talking bad about me. I don't know what her deal was. I don't know what her problem was. But you don't do that with paying customers, period.
Yeah.
So Bacon runs off, tells everybody that I'm there. I'm assuming the king of the palace also found out that I was there. Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
I'm not shocked by it. There was a Lamborghini in the driveway. I'm assuming it was his.
Right.
I didn't see him, by the way. Like, I didn't see him. I did not text him or call him because I should not have to call or text every time I want to go somewhere publicly. I'm like, you know, like, even if it's his attraction, if I'm paying for it.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, the tables have turned now. And I hear my name being called on the walkie. I'm hearing Krystal, Ghost Girl Diaries is here, blah, blah, blah. And, like, all of a sudden, the whole staff has changed now. And these girls behind the table are now kissing my butt. And miraculously, we got into a tour within 15 minutes.
Wow.
By the way, there's still been no people this whole time. By the way, there's still been nobody there to get tickets or anything. You know what I mean?
Just more tumbleweeds.
So
like
just imagine 3 of us paying to get in the museum, which my friend paid for us. Shout out, thank you for paying for me. He didn't have to. It was just courtesy. It was like $180 for 3 of us to get in.
Wow.
And we were just treated like that. Now we're getting ready to go inside, and my friends are like, that was uncomfortable.
That's unprofessional.
That was rough. What the heck was that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my God. And I don't know, man. I shouldn't have to be good, like treated well just because I'm Ghost Girl. I would hope everybody that goes there is treated well and not, like, is she running off customers? Is that what you want to do during a pandemic?
Yeah.
I mean, what's your opinion on it? Like, what do you think that was about?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's wrong. It's just wrong, period. Unprofessional, not good customer service. And honestly, if she's been treating people like that, she's been there for a year, I think.
Cat stalked her on social media.
I stalked her. Yeah, she's been there for like over a year, and like, I'm shocked no one's reported her.
Well, so then something else happened. So I'm trying to calm the energy down because I'm embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed. My professional friends from Los Angeles are here. This is embarrassing. Like, I'm embarrassed on so many scales. I'm embarrassed I suggested to go here. I'm embarrassed his staff is acting like this. And I'm embarrassed for him because his staff is being treating people this way. I'm just embarrassed. And I'm never bringing my friends back here again. Like, this is just embarrassing.
Right.
So, but you can still feel that, like, tense energy she had. Like, literally, she sounded like she's like this the whole time. So I was, and now she's mad because she knows that she just treated somebody important badly, which, by the way, I don't pull that card.
No.
I do not pull that card. I don't care. Like, I'm humble and I don't pull that card.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, I've got to fix this somehow. Like, Jesus. Like, this is really bad. And, like, I can tell she's hesitantly, like, being overly nice to me, but she's still talking smack about us. Like, we'd walk away from the table and they're pointing, laughing, giggling, making fun of my outfit, you know, whatever. I don't care. That's insecurity. It says more about them. I'm not even worried about that.
That's annoying, though.
But so she calls us up to do you have to sign the waivers, you know, for, like, going in. So I was like, I'm going to give her a compliment. Like, people that act like this really just need, like, a serious hug. And she definitely needed some holy water on top of that. But, like, I didn't have any on me.
And an exorcism.
She needed probably. Yeah. But I didn't I wasn't prepared for that either. I didn't have Bishop Brian was busy, you know? Yeah. So I said, your necklace is so pretty. She had this, like, crystal dragon necklace on. I was like, your necklace is so pretty. Do you know what she said to me? First of all, she mumbled it angrily, so I don't really know the full context of what she said, first of all. But what I could make out of it was, I don't accept compliments because I have no soul. I sold my soul to Satan. Now, my friends are standing next to me and they look at me and they're like, I think, like, they're really concerned, like, this is a Satanist or something.
I mean, that's pretty much what she's saying.
And I'm like, and then they're like, is it safe to go in here? Like, I just feel like this may not be a safe place for, like, run-of-the-mill people to go in, you know what I mean? I don't know if that's exactly what she said. I heard Satan, I heard no soul, I heard, like, compliments of no soul, no Satan, like, I sold my soul to Satan, something like that. Like, I don't even know, bro. I don't even know what's going on here, okay? I was trying to compliment your necklace. I'm so sorry if you sold your soul to Satan, but I had nothing to do with that, you know what I mean?
Maybe your soul's in the necklace.
Anyway, I was like, I am done. I am done right now. Oh, she said it. Jessica said there's no way. Oh, she said it. Oh, she said it. I am not kidding you. I would not. Wow. And I'm going to be honest, my friends from LA were scared. Because, you know, like, they like paranormal, but they're not into it like I am. They don't understand white magic, gray magic, black magic. And it's the typical Hollywood thing that's taught people, like, every witchcraft thing is dark. You know what I mean? So like no matter what's said, it's going to be Satanist. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So I know the difference, obviously, but like my friends were like, what the hell? Like, oh, like they were like jumping, freaking out. Like, she said she just sold her soul to Satan. Does she mean it? Because she's like acting like it. You know what I mean? Like they were scared. They were like thoroughly scared. So then I'm like, okay, is this a freak show now? Like, are we like, is this not a paranormal museum now? Is this like, are they supposed to be putting this act on? Because now I'm thinking it's an act. You know what I mean? Like, this has gone like way too far. Like, I don't, and then I was like, okay, I don't know. Sorry I complimented you. Screw that. Bad idea. Won't do that again. I need to get out of here. Like, I need to get to safety, like, very quickly. I left my rosary at home, and it was a bad idea, you know? So, anyway, I, like, literally would not talk to her after that. Like, I was like, I don't know. So, anyway,
Bizarre.
we go inside. So, yeah, I mean, that's it. That's the first part. That's how we entered the museum. That should have been a red flag to leave.
Ran for safety in the Haunted Museum. Get me out of here.
And, like, playing devil's advocate, have you ever dealt with that while we were at the museum?
No, never at the museum.
I hope you would never deal with that anywhere else either. Like, Jesus.
Sure, that too.
No, but like, is that far fetched from what you remember the museum being like?
Yeah, Again, it just took a hard right turn. You know, it just like veered completely dark and downwards.
And this really happened. I'm not kidding you. I'm not even joking even a little bit. And it scared me, like, because I'm not into Satanism. You know what I'm saying? Like, woo!
I'm doesn't pop up in normal conversation where you're like,
look,
by the way, I sold my soul.
I talk in my book about being dark because, like, I went through dark things when I was a kid. You know, I had a friend die, and it was very traumatic, and like depression and stuff. So I talk about being dark. So yes, I have a side of me that I thoroughly enjoy dark stuff, just because I have a very big curiosity on it, and I've experienced it. But that was a whole nother level of darkness that I'm not willing to go down. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you have your soul, so, you know, that's
I still have my soul, first of all. And I have not made any devil worshipping, practices.
That's sick. That's sick.
Anyway, if she's scaring patrons off like that, I'm concerned. That's all I'm going to say.
Complaint.
Complaints. I am very unprepared for this, and I'm concerned for the safety of others, okay? Like,
no, I almost came out to go with Krystal to Vegas last minute, and I wish I was there because my Aries would have I probably would have made it worse though. I probably would have made it worse.
Well, and then my one producer friend was like you know, if she's into, like, BDSM, she's definitely the dom, like, 100%. Like, she's wanting to take you down, Krystal, like, 100%. And I was like, okay, I feel really unsafe right now.
Thank you for the visual.
And unsanitary. It's just, like, a whole, like, woo. So, anyway, thanks, Bacon, for saving me. Bacon got us in.
Bacon.
I don't think he knows he did that, honestly.
Probably not, but
so,
they should.
So anyway, so that, it did start off rough. Let's talk about going in the museum. So a lot of things changed in the museum, probably due to, like, the pandemic, probably due to social distancing. There's some things I just didn't like. I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna talk about it. So first of all, they have the upsell. So as a local, I think it's $45. I don't know what they charge for out of state. So $45 plus tax ends up being like $47.50 or something, and then. You can also get an upsell on top of that where you get to do 6 bonus rooms and you get a free t-shirt, which is an additional $33. So it comes to somewhere between $80 to $90 with tax per person. That's a lot of money. When we went in to buy the tickets, my friends were so pissed about what they had just experienced outside. We were like, no, we're not doing an extra $33 upsell. Like, that was just, like, so bad. I'm dead serious when I say, like, it kind of traumatized my friends, because it was just really bad. Like, I've never dealt with something like that in customer service. And I've worked in customer service, like, before, even in cosmetology. Like, I understand what it's like to work with the public. And that was, like, so not okay, like, in so many ways. And I've never had an experience like that at the museum where I've had somebody act like that, ever. Like, anyway, so you go in, you knock on the door. It's the same thing, the same schmeal. You go into the oddities room. It's pretty much the same. They have like big circles on the floor where they keep groups standing in for social distancing. So if you go in with a group, your group has to stand together. There's ropes, barricades in different places. Obviously, they don't really want you. I mean, you couldn't really touch anything before, but they really kind of are a stickler on it now because of obviously the pandemic that's going on. I haven't been there for 2 years officially. It's been 2 years.
Wow, really?
I know. Yeah.
That flew.
Well, the first year was us shooting the pilot,
Right.
and the second year was us trying to negotiate the pilot. So really, it all blends into one. You know what I mean?
True. It doesn't feel like it's been 2 years.
Really, it's
So
just
weird.
one nightmare. You know what I mean? Like one whole nightmare.
It's one collective situation here, okay? Great.
Why are we laughing?
But there was a lot to years, okay?
Someday I'll write a book. Someday Kat and I will co-write a book together. You guys will be like, how did
Then
you
make a reality
survive?
show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the next step after the series is to make a reality show of what Kat and Krystal went through. You know what I mean? Except right now, my life would be kind of boring. It wouldn't be interesting. But, so you go into the casino room. Oh, wait, Zoltar. The Zoltar thing. You put a quarter in.
It's still there.
It's still there. Yeah, like narcissism at its worst. Like,
Ugh.
Zach had a Zoltar made of himself, and I'm just like, it makes me gag every time I see it. It's like a giant dummy of Zach, and like it talks. Like it's just, anyway. Probably had to have been like $5,000 or $10,000 at least to have that thing made, and it's just gross.
Jeez.
Anyway, now it's $1. Yeah, he's making more money, boo. He's raking it in. Yeah, every group that goes in there has to put $1 in that Zoltar machine. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. He's got those ones for the strip club. You know what I'm saying?
You know, can I ask a really random question though?
Please do.
What would happen if you don't have $1?
I think
Like,
the
what if
guides
nobody
give them
in the
to you.
group has $1?
I think the guides have them. Like, that's what happened before. Like, I've been in there where, like, they're like, you need a quarter, and, like, people are like, nope, like, I don't have change on me, you know? So,
Right.
yeah, I think that they still have one as, like, a backup.
Oh, that makes sense, I guess.
Oh, God. So, anyway, I didn't want to do it, but I had the $1, and I let my girlfriend do it. She was excited. She got the ticket. The Zoltar was much more appeasing than Bree was. You know, hang out with Zoltar all day.
Yeah, well, little things.
So moving on to the next room was the poker room. It's changed a lot. They took the 666 poker table out, I assume for social distancing. Disappointed though, because that was really cool.
Yeah.
A lot of things are actually missing and moved out of there, and I think due to COVID. So it was that room's like feels bare. It feels very different, and it's just sad because I feel like people that are going in there aren't getting like the full experience right now. Then you go
They're
into
paying for it.
and on top of the $33, and I was like, don't pay the $33. Let me see what these bonus 6 rooms are. Okay? Let me tell you what these bonus 6 rooms are, okay?
Don't.
It's a hot mess.
Save your money.
So, well, I mean, if you want a t-shirt, it's worth it, because I think they charge like $25 for t-shirts, you know what I mean? So if you're wanting a t-shirt when you're done, it's worth it. If you don't want, like, I'm not going to wear Zach Bagan's t-shirt, you know? I don't need that. So then we go into the funeral parlor. Obviously, that's changed once again because of COVID. All the chairs are up. They moved the bodies to the middle of the room. It just feels weird. I understand why they did it, but it just, like, the energy's really messed up. The energy just doesn't feel right. You kind of walk in a circle around the skeletons, and it's like... we were in a group. It was a small group of 5. It was my friends, so 3 of us, and then this older couple that was with us. They did get the VIP, which is the $33 extra. This woman is older, and she's on a cane, and she clearly has breathing issues. She's not like overweight or anything. She's just probably 60s or 70s. So the first bonus room is that you get to get on your knees and crawl through the little teeny door into the haunted hallway where they had the little person that did like the magician stuff into the puppet room. Even if I paid the $33, I'm not getting on my knees for nobody, okay? It's going to be a lot more than $33, okay? You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh, I'm dead.
Like, and this poor woman that's like, 60, 70 years old on a cane, she, they told her you don't have to do it, but like, I think she felt like she was going to miss out on that, like I paid for the opportunity. So she did it. She went through the little cave thing, crawled on her knees. Poor bitch. I wouldn't have done it. I know. She comes out the other side, goes to the puppet room, and now because she's older, she can't breathe.
Right. She's
having a freaking asthma attack. She's literally like you can hear her. I have asthma. Like she's wheezing and she's like I'm like, is she gonna pass out? And it's stuffy in there. You're wearing masks. Like it's dark and musky. Like that place is a musky. You know what I mean? And she because it's old, so it's just got that musky scent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And she's like can't breathe, and so she's like rummaging through her purse for her inhaler, and I'm panicking because I have asthma. I've had to be hospitalized for it, so I understand like you can actually die from asthma. You know what I mean?
Right.
And everybody's kind of paused because you can see she's like physically having a moment. You know what I mean? So she pulls her inhaler out and goes to put it like under her mask, and everyone just starts screaming at her for having to put it under her mask.
She's clearly like having an issue.
Well, and I get it. Like I do get it, but like do you want like a current death in the museum too? Are they not trained on like ER purposes? You know like you know what I mean? Like and they're mad. They're like, just keep your mask on. Like you'll have to remove yourself. How's she going to remove herself when she can't walk or breathe, boo-boo? You going to drag her out by 1 foot?
Right.
And I was like, where's the empathy here? Like, nobody gives a about, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was weird. It was really weird. So, and she had a hard time breathing the whole time. Like, she was just struggling the whole time. So anyway, after that, at least. So then we go into the painting room, which is like the gallery. He got a new item that's in there.
This is where it gets bad. Really bad.
I have
a fan on.
I have problems with it for a lot of reasons. You know what I mean? Like, one, the first reason is the item that he purchased, I don't think really even goes with the theme of the Haunted Museum. Yeah. And the second one is I just find it like, should I just spit it out? Like, how do I even say this? Like, I don't even know how to say it. He got,
just say it.
Which, by the way, the Galleria used to be one of my favorite locations. He got a new item that's behind glass. He purchased, for a very hefty price tag, a oil painting that was at an auction that was once Adolf Hitler's. And I mean, it's not an unknown thing that like Adolf Hitler was into the occult. Like that's a very big thing. Like that's a known fact. But this person created a genocide that slaughtered and tried to exterminate an entire culture of 6 million people. In my opinion, Hitler is one of the worst people to have ever lived on this planet. And I think he did one of the most unspeakable acts to date. So why do you have something on a pedestal for someone that did something so horrible to not only society but the planet? I'm Native American. I was very close with my grandmother growing up, who left the reservation at 18 years old and escaped poverty due to her family being forced on the Trail of Tears and somehow surviving another trail of genocide. And I have a really big problem with putting a person like that on a pedestal.
It's backwards. It's gone real dark.
I have a problem.
It makes no sense.
I have a really big problem with it. I don't see that as paranormal. I see that as extreme disrespect. And I don't find that occult, and I don't even find that dark. I don't find it macabre. I do think there could be a museum or a place for that, not at the Haunted Museum. We are now moving away from paranormal items, and we are moving into putting things on a pedestal of extreme tragedy and trauma, at the time throwing away all ethnic morals whatsoever. And I have a really big problem with that. I am not Jewish, and I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
The energy that radiated off of it, I can't tell you what it felt like because I was so pissed it was there. I don't know how it felt, so don't ask me how it felt. I don't have words for how I feel about what Hitler did. 6 million people were tortured for years on end, starved, experimented on at the hands of this person, tried to let's just say, call it as it is, extermination. I don't even consider the Holocaust genocide. I consider it an extermination, because they would pick people up off of the street that weren't Jewish. If you just looked Jewish with dark hair and dark eyes, they would take you to Auschwitz. Yeah, I have a big problem with this, to be honest with you.
And those numbers, you know, the 6 million people that were, you know, killed, murdered, were just the Jewish,
right,
you know, folks. That's not including those that were taken off of the streets for having, you know,
dark eyes
that, you know, deemed them the death penalty. It's messed up.
How is that paranormal, Kat? Can you explain it to me?
It's not. It's not. It shouldn't even be a thing. It shouldn't even be a thing in there.
I understand he likes to collect oddities. I understand that. That's something I don't think you should touch. I think it should be burned and set to the bottom of the ocean, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can put it in a museum. Someone said maybe a Holocaust memorial museum. I don't even think they'd want it, because that's memorizing the people that were tortured and extinguished.
Right.
You know, like, and it's like, it's like, to consciously make the decision to bid on something and purchase something owned by the most heinous and cruel, one of the most heinous and cruel humans that ever existed on this planet, makes me confused.
Makes me sick. I remember when you were talking with me about it, I felt really nauseous.
So supposedly he's deathly afraid of it, according to the tour guide, which is why he put it behind glass. The irony that he hasn't, you know, he knows people at TMZ, and he announces his own, like, anytime you see him on TMZ, it's because he knows people at TMZ. He likes to put himself in the media. But where was that in the media? Why didn't you announce that you purchased something from Hitler and put that in the media?
It's because you know.
Yeah, you're flirting with cancel culture, in my opinion.
Big time.
And I'm not part of cancel culture. Like, Generation Z is known for cancel culture, and like, you can't stop them. Do it. Do your thing. Like, whatever. You're flirting with cancel culture when you're wanting to put in something from Hitler and the Holocaust, and not the right side of the Holocaust. But even then, I don't think that that's appropriate place for it to be. You know what I mean? Like, you know what it screams to me is that he's hoping Hitler is attached to that portrait in the afterlife to stir up more things in the museum. And he's seeing it for selfish and narcissistic purposes rather than what this person did to human beings. And that makes me really sick, to be honest with you.
I agree 100%.
Like,
wrong.
Where are your morals? Like, at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, like, are morals and ethics involved?
Right. No.
Because in my opinion, it's not.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, you go to the next room. So let's carry on for a minute. You know, you go to the next room. You got Charles Manson's ashes he purchased from his nephew or grandson, whatever. Okay, yeah. We all thought that was weird. You know, putting a what did they say? Putting a serial killer on a statuesque sort of portrait of like hierarchy of like, you know, paying tribute to Manson, having his ashes there. Okay, yeah, I get it. I get, you know, which I'm not saying I agree with it, but I get it. You know, like there's a lot of people that have serial killer, you know, obsessions or like fantasies or whatever. Okay, so I get it. Hitler's not just a serial killer, bro. He was trying to exterminate people, like actually. And I guess it's like crazy. It's like unless you have a background with family that has been incorporated with genocide, such as my family and what my grandmother taught me and like took so seriously, just doesn't hit me right, man.
No, it had no business being there.
No. So I hope that with, you know, if it gets back to him that I did this podcast, I hope he does the wise thing and removes that and donates it to the appropriate place where it should be, because we're toying with something here that's not even about paranormal anymore. Like, I think he's literally trying to bring in Hitler's spirit, and that's just so... that's not paranormal to me.
There's a line.
There is a line, and I mean, and he's crossed a lot, which I think is okay. You know, like, you know, he likes to push boundaries. You're flirting with cancel culture, buddy. You're flirting with it, and if something happens, don't look at me to pull you out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
He's gotta just remove it. He's gotta remove it.
So there was a couple other weird things too that I'll share with you guys. So keep going. The next secret room that you could pay for $33 was to go into the basement. I mean, I've been down there, obviously, so I told my friends you're not missing much. It's small. The next room was like the Winchester room. I told them that room was small too, so it was fine. You know, I think the extra $33 is a money grab. Once again, if you want a t-shirt, get the t-shirt. You know, get it for the t-shirt, but like you're not missing anything otherwise. Carrying on, you know, you're going to Ed Gein's room. That's pretty much still the same. Oh, he did purchase from a science lab a piece of actual human skin that was turned to leather from a science lab. So he put that in Ed Gein's room. So, I mean, now that's like he did that the correct way, which is going to a science lab that was able to donate it, okay? It's not the same as bringing in something that Hitler owned. And by the way, that oil painting was in Hitler's bedroom. And it was, oh, I didn't even finish telling you what the oil painting was. It's a oil painting of witchcraft carrying out tarot cards in a tarot reading because Hitler was obsessed with the occult. So once again, now, not only is it just bad about the whole, you know, 6 million people dying thing and like perishing, like that's kind of bad, like that's pretty bad. But now you're incorporating, you're saying witchcraft and tarot have to do with Hitler. I have identified as doing witchcraft. Do you, Kat?
Yep.
Do you want to associate yourself with tarot? I do. I do tarot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you want to associate yourself with Hitler?
No.
That's a big no from me.
Mm-hmm.
Find some ethics, Zach. Where are you right now? You need to start thinking with your head here.
Yep. It's bigger than him right now. You know what I mean? Like,
it's just not right. Just not right. So between Bree and Hitler, I had some problems that day. You know what I'm saying?
Weird day.
Carrying on was so Ed Gein's room. He has the piece of skin that was donated. Then you go into the library sort of study area. He's removed a ton of stuff out of there, probably once again due to the pandemic. It sucks because people are missing out on it. You know what I mean? It just doesn't look the same. And I know he's changing things, and it has to be appropriate for social distancing. But it does suck that you're not getting the full experience. You know, the hallway has all like the weird like taxidermy stuff. Then you go into the like celebrity hall. It's pretty much the same. They do have Sharon Tate's wedding dress there, which was really fun to see.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very like, it looks very 80s. It's got like the puffy sleeves, you know what I mean? So
Wow.
that was cool. I really like the celebrity hall, honestly. I think it's a special place for it. He does have the Ghostbusters exhibit. I did get to go in there. That room is like the best room in the whole museum, in my opinion.
That's
like,
awesome.
The energy in there is like amazing. He paid $500,000 for everything that's in there, so it's worth a lot of money. Then you're gonna carry on. You're gonna go to the room where the magic door opens from the taxidermy area, and you get scared and jump, basically. Which then opens up to the sort of like it's not really a grand ballroom, but it's like, you would call it a ballroom. It's like a large room where you would have a very fine party back in the day. You know what I mean? Now, before, there was all kinds of, wasn't there like circus stuff, Cat, in there? Like there was like circus cages and like fake lions and all that stuff.
Yeah, hanging on like the back wall.
Mm-hmm. Nothing's in there now.
That's
like,
weird.
And when I say nothing, I mean like the walls are black, the floor is black. Nothing's in there. Like literally, like they have like ropes for people to line up, and that's about it. Like there's nothing in there. Like nothing on the walls. Like literally, there's nothing.
That's weird.
So then you go into the circus area where it's like the carnival, where you see all the little like miniature carnival. Then you see like the lion head, which was the lion that ate the tamer. That's there. Then you go into the freak show area. Okay. Mm-hmm. The freak show changed quite a bit. They used to do really extreme stuff. So the guy that does it, he's been there for a minute. I don't even know his name, nor do I care. And I'll tell you why. I have a very strong opinion on him as well. He puts like these, like a paint can dangled to chains with hooks. And he attaches the hooks to his eye with a paint can that's full. And he swings it around like a freak show. And then when we were there with Chanel, he like asked Chanel to like nail a nail into his like skull. So it's like very like freak show performance stuff. He did do the paint can thing, but that was it. He didn't do anything else. I assume it's once again because of COVID. Another secret room that you're allowed to go in is you can go in that little teeny wagon where the tarot reader used to be, because Aaron got evidence there. And I mean, you have to pretty much crawl through it. And I was like, oh, I'm still not crawling on anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they did it. They did it. The people who were in our group did it. I don't get along with that performer that's in there. He's been there for a while. I was invited on a private investigation with Zach and some of his crew members a few years ago, and he was there. And he likes to scare people with the satanic stuff. He is a practicing Satanist. He looks like a practicing Satanist. He looks like he's trying to embody like Anton LaVey, like to the full.
Literally, though.
He got me alone when I was doing this investigation. You know, people see me as that like blonde girl, pretty makeup. She's like Barbie, and like we're gonna scare her by talking about Satan. And he caught me alone, and he tried to like, you know, that's what some of the Satanist stuff does, though, is it takes weak people and manipulates them into like coming to that side of like, right. You don't have a home or anywhere to go, like family wise, so come to this side and we will care for you. So he was trying to do that like tactic and like scare me with all his Satanist like terms and like as if I'm not familiar. Do you know how I am? Okay, yeah. I've studied this. And so I don't like him because he was pretty much trying to scare me with his Satanist talk. So I can't stand that guy, to be honest. In fact, I had my back to him the whole time we were in the freak show. I was like, not talking to you.
Associating.
Nope. And so then we go up the stairs. You go to like the freak house where it's like the fun house and like there's clowns jumping out at you from the ceiling and all this stuff. Then you come out to the top area, and we switched tour guides at this point. And I think that he has like maybe too high of expectations for the tour guides, because it looks like he's breaking them up into sections because they're not being able to remember all the information correctly. And he has TVs in pretty much every room where Zach comes on the TV and he's talking about the artifacts himself. It didn't used to be like that. There used to only be a couple in different rooms. Why do you have tour guides then?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I've watched Ghost Adventures every episode, right. Probably 5 times. I don't want to hear Zach talk. I know what he says. I know what he thinks. Right. I know his evidence and his opinion, and I know he's credible. I know. I want to see the stuff. I want to see the tour guide talk. You know what I mean?
You just paid $150.
Yeah, we just paid $180 to get in here. I don't want to sit here and watch Zach on a screen, to be honest with you. I do that at home. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
So I don't know what that's about, honestly. Whatever. Like, but it's in almost pretty much every single room now. You have to watch Zach talk about his stuff in that room, which is like also narcissism at its best. And like, I don't want to hear him talk. Is that wrong? Like, do you feel that way? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it was.
I'm at a museum. I'm here to see the stuff, not you, you know?
Well, let the guy do the job. Okay, we know it's your museum, Zach. We know
Yeah,
it's
your name's
museum.
on it. We're
Like,
we're aware.
It's fine.
We know who you are, boo.
It's fine.
Anyway, I'm bitching.
I
That's
clicked
fine.
the fan on. It's fine.
So we go upstairs, and this is where I don't know what happened, to be honest with you. I don't know. You know what I think happened? I think that Zach is surrounded by a bunch of yes men. I said it. I think Zach is surrounded by a bunch of people that agree with what Zach says, and Zach's the king of the land, and like we do what Zach says and we fall to his feet, and he has nobody to look at him and say like, you know what, Zach, that may not be a good idea. You may not have the best idea, and I'm sorry, but that's all of us. Nobody ever has the best ideas 24/7, and he has nobody in there telling him, I don't think that's a good idea. And so,
Especially from a customer service experience.
oh my God,
perspective.
I will never go back there because of her, ever, literally. Like, if I would have been a younger version of myself, she would have had me in tears because it was just so bad. And I was embarrassed. Like, I'll never take my professional friends back there ever again. It was so embarrassing. It was so embarrassing. And and then I'm sitting here like, oh yeah, Zach's a great guy. I know him, and like, he loves his antiques and blah blah blah. And then it makes him look bad, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm embarrassed.
Ugh. Horrible.
So we go up to the second floor now. So obviously this is after the the circus thing. So the first room you're gonna go in now is the Dybbuk room. Now you cannot go in Robert Berdella's room unless you paid that $33 extra, which is the Kansas City Butcher.
Right. I mean, that seems like weird to me.
It's right there.
It's like right across.
And it's awkward. They make you feel like you're missing out because you didn't buy VIP. Yeah, like I didn't feel left out, obviously, and my friends were like, I don't give a, like, we don't care. But like
Right.
the tour guides, like, while other people are doing the VIP experience, they literally like put you off to the side and like just wait there. And you have to wait for like 5 to 10 minutes in silence doing nothing while the other people are doing the VIP. And it's like, I'm sorry, I didn't want to pay $33 after your hostess out there was so freaking nice to me.
Right. It was a total witch.
It was bad.
It was bad.
So anyway,
Really,
we're
really bad.
waiting. So they go in Robert Berdella room. We go into the Dybbuk box room, whatever. Dybbuk box. Okay. So we have to listen to Zach talk again. And I'm just like,
The TV drops from the ceiling.
yeah, every time. Here comes the TV. Then we open the door. We go to the second chamber, which is where the Dybbuk box room is, and it's changed too. He had the Dybbuk box in the middle with glass, which, by the way, Kat, you've been in there. It's not that
It's not big.
big.
No.
He has now built a fortress around the Dybbuk box. So it has the glass around it, which everybody's probably seen pictures from Ghost Adventures. And now it has a fortress around it. And when I say fortress, it looks like it is made of wood and glass. And it looks like a medieval fortress that has been built around the Dybbuk box. And it's a huge fortress. Why? You couldn't touch it anyway with the glass.
That's
And
weird.
now it's cut down in the room space, and it's so small, and you have to, like, it's horrible. The energy in there is so thrown off. I can't even tell you. Like, before, you could definitely tell it was, like, demonic activity. Like, you could feel it. You could sense it. On the glass, there's, like, Jewish things etched in on it. The irony with the Hitler thing downstairs.
Yeah, which makes no sense.
He has Jewish prayer, like, etched in on the glass, with Hitler hanging out downstairs with Charles Manson, for God's sake.
And being spoken. Is it still?
It is still being spoken
in the room?
Yep, it is.
Like, oh.
But the fortress that's built around the Dybbuk box, you can't even you can't even get a good visual on it. Honestly, it's just it's a waste of money. Like, it sucks. I don't know why. Who's not telling him to not do these things? Somebody needs to not be afraid to speak up to him and say that's just not a good idea.
It's not working.
No. So then you go into Peggy's room. And Peggy's room is that she's a demon doll. They've changed that as well. before you could see into Peggy's room, and it was kind of like, it looked like a big crib is the only way I can explain it. It had like white bars up in like a crib with like toys inside, and she was like in the back in a box, okay? And now they've changed it to where you can walk directly right next to Peggy. They still have a spirit box moving or on. But then there's this like weird thing in the center aisle so that people can walk around in a circle. And once again, it just throws the energy off. It just, I don't know. And like, normally you go in to see Peggy and she talks smack like on the like Dybbuk box or on the spirit box. Like you hear her talk, like she'll like cuss you out and stuff like that. Like, that's just who she is, you know what I mean? And it's kind of funny, because you're just like, she's a sassy demon, you know?
Yeah.
But I think because the wall is up and she can't see out, I think she's just like, it's just not, it's boring.
Right.
It's not an experience, you know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. I don't know why everything's changed so dramatically. And so now you go back into the hallway, and by the way, he's changed the hallway as well. Before you could see over the banister down to the first floor, right? You remember that?
Yeah.
He has now added on all sides, like every direction, these like heavy, thick, dense velvet stage curtains from theater. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Like the blacks?
Like the big, thick, you've sung on stage, like the really big, thick, like where you can't see anything through it because it's stage, theater performance curtains.
Yeah, yeah.
And it has turned the hallways pitch black. And there's no lights in the hallways. It's pitch black.
The guides don't have like a flashlight or anything?
Nope. And you have to shut your phone off before you go in, so they don't let you use your flashlight when you're walking through. I could hardly see, and I'm young. And the people that were on the canes, they kept tripping. It's too dark. It's not safe. It's too dark. I don't know what the hell's going on. Honestly, I have no idea. And it's so dark. It's so dark, it takes the fun out of it. Because now you're focused on worrying about where you're walking and placing your feet versus, like, having the experience of being there. So I don't know what's going on, to be honest with you.
Which is the whole point.
Uh-huh.
Which is the whole point, is to, like, have the experience. You know what I mean? Not be confused.
So now they head us downstairs. They take us downstairs. The first room, there's 3 rooms there. There's the Lee Shapiro, which is the paranormal investigator.
Mm-hmm.
There is Natalie Wood's room, which was like the Splendor with Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
And then you have the Demon House room. So you go, so they let you split into groups, and you, like, 3 can go here, 3 go here, 3 go here, whatever. So we went into the Lee Shapiro room, which I was really glad that was up and running again. She was technically considered, like, the first female investigator, so it is really nice that he has that odd to her, He'd had that shut down for a while, so I'm glad he has that up and running. The next room, though, was the Splendor room for Natalie Wood, and he had a lot of stuff's missing out of there. I think, once again, it's been shifted and moved around because of COVID, and which just sucks.
Yeah.
It just seemed bare. It was very bare. And he had like a Titanic replica in that room, which has nothing to do with the Splendor.
Is he doing like an experiment or something?
I don't know. It was a miniature. I mean, it was beautiful, but it was like, it doesn't. Where are your ideas going? Hitler with paranormal art? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's going on here. Dybbuk box fortress. I don't know what's going on. No idea. Peggy's been shut off, and she was quiet. I don't think she even wants anything to do with it anymore. You know what I mean?
The energies are even confused.
It was not
like in their room. They're like, "What's happening?"
Yeah, it's really weird. So then you go into Demon House. The whole room got ruined.
Yeah,
I don't even know how to, like, describe this, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like, so I've obviously been in there many times. And before you would walk in, there was like a little fence. It sort of looked like it was like a gate, basically, to try to keep people out from, like, going, like, to get the dirt or anything behind. He'd put plexiglass up, but you could see everything. There's, like, the stairway from the demon house. You can see the dirt underneath. You can see the artifacts that were dug up. And then he had the demon in the corner with, like, baby dolls on the stairways, okay? So I walk in the demon house room, which, by the way, my friends were most excited to see this room. This was like the room they were waiting to see, you know, because they knew about the documentary and all that stuff. I walked in and I thought we were in the wrong room, first of all. It was a bare room, completely bare. It had cement on the floor, brick walls from floor to ceiling, gray, like grayish black brick, and that's it. And I'm like, what the hell happened to the demon house room? Like, where is it? And the guy goes, okay, well, the three of you are in here. I'm going to lock you in. So he closes the door, which is fine. And I'm like, they're like, where's the stuff? You said this was such a cool room. And I was like, yeah, there's brick now. I don't know. So all of a sudden a TV drops down and I'm like, oh my God. I have to listen to him again.
No.
Every room was just like a 10-minute video of Zach talking.
You start to see the TV come down. You're like, no.
I literally was like, stop. We're done. Like, we know, you know, like. So here comes the video, and we're gonna show evidence, and we're gonna and I'm like, dude, like, do you think people that come here don't know who you are? And like the tour guides did enough. Like the tour guides were interactive. Like I liked that about them. But it's almost like Zach's like, you're not doing it good enough. I'm a control freak, so I'm gonna take it over and do it better, and you don't have to remember it because you just screw it up.
Wow.
And it's just so I have to listen to Zach, and I'm like. Snoring in the back of the room. Let me know when it's done.
Let me know when the demon comes out. Like,
yeah, let me. Hey, we're here, demons. Just like when you're ready, let me know what's going on. You know what I mean?
Pop out.
And so, and my friends are still like, why is this a gray, like slated room? This doesn't even look like the demon house on TV. Like, what are we doing here? You know? So okay, so this 10-minute video plays, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so over it at this point. I'm so over the videos. And all of a sudden, the guide comes back in and he says, do I have your permission to allow you to view the demon house? And I turn around like, I wanted to be like, what the f are you talking about? I feel like we gave our consent when we walked in here. It's like dramatic, you know?
Right.
And my friend's like, yeah, do it. Like what? Where is it at? Like where, you know, like this is boring. We're in a brick room. And he closes the door, and there's these, like, literally this high, if you see me on the video. It's like a foot long by about 3 feet, no, foot tall by about 3 feet wide. There's little rafters that have been put inside of the brick. And when I say brick goes to ceiling to floor, I mean brick is on the floor to the ceiling with cement. Like I'm saying, there is no space. Like it is cement walls with these little tiny rafters that all of a sudden drop down, and you have to look through the rafters to look at the demon house stuff. And by the way, I was in heels. Okay, so I'm 5'5" on a good day. Okay, with my shoes, I'm like 5'7", 5'9", depending on like what shoes I'm wearing. And I was still struggling to see in the rafters because they were put so high up. I was literally on my tippy toes trying to look inside over the freaking brick wall. Why did you put brick walls up? What are you doing? What's the point of this?
Also, airflow. Like, are we still not thinking ahead of, like, you know, proper air in the room?
So it's still there. The demon's gone. There's only one baby doll on the stairs. The artifacts are there. You can only see them if you're tall enough to look over the goddamn brick wall. I don't know. Dramatic effect. I'm gonna drop the rafters. Do I have your permission to see it? Honestly, it was just so much cooler before. Honestly, like people that go now are like missing out. And how do you take down a brick wall? Like you're gonna have to bulldoze that thing. Like it was actual brick wall with like cement. 2 of them.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was, and the demon's gone. It's in the back. So, and that made that room.
Oh, the mannequin thing.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ugh.
So.
You know, I'm glad I saw it when I did.
Yeah. So there's 2 rooms that are left. Elfie says this sounds weird and makes no sense. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you like 400% more.
Yep.
Oh, Elfie, wait till you hear the next one. You're gonna like this one. Wait till you hear this.
So bad.
There's a new room that they've included that was basically brought in at the same time that Hitler decided to make an entrance. God, that just upsets my stomach even saying that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes me nauseous.
I don't want Hitler in my narrative of paranormal. Like, I've talked about, people have asked me like what my dream place would be to investigate. And I've said I would love to go to Auschwitz, but I don't want cameras. I don't want cameras. I don't even want to collect evidence. I want to go in there and tell anybody that's stuck that they need to leave. They need to go. Don't be stuck in the gray zone of this torment anymore from this asshole.
Yep, don't linger.
Mm-mm.
Don't do it.
So, then he has 2 more room exhibits now that are new, that are the very last 2 exhibits, which makes no sense because honestly, the Demon House was like the perfect ending to the tour. You know what I mean? Like, it's like the big grand finale. Like, that's the way it should be. And it's horrible. The brick wall, I don't get it. I don't get the fortress around the Dybbuk box. I don't get it. I don't get it. I do not get it. I don't get the point. Normally, like, I'm like, okay, let me see how Zach's thinking. And I, like, my Aquarius brain is like, okay, let me figure this out. No, I don't know. I have no idea why he did that. So they say, okay, we have two new ones. We have one that is a witch room, and it's dedicated to Wiccan, paganism, and witchcraft. And I'm like, oh, good. You got me here. Let me school ya. Let's do this. If there's anybody that knows about witchcraft, I just sat in my throne. Let me pull up my chair. Let's get this going.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And the next room was a 80s horror themed, which also has nothing to do with paranormal.
No.
See, what's going on here? We're way off track here.
I'm confused.
We're way off track. Is this a paranormal museum? Or is this a Tiger King museum? Or is this a freak sideshow museum? Like what is it? Like, is this about the ghost? It's not about the ghost anymore. Okay. It's about sideshow. Okay, it's a sideshow museum. Okay, got it. Makes sense now. It's not paranormal. I am not ashamed to say that a large portion of my audience is practicing pagans and witches. Mm-hmm. I have said that if you have any interest in paranormal at all, and if you have ever participated in paranormal, no matter who you are practicing necromancy, which is witchcraft, period. Whether you like it or not, whether you want to admit it or not, if you've been in a haunted location, even on a tour, trying to experience paranormal activity, you are practicing necromancy. It is not as scary as people say. Witchcraft is not what people say it is, okay? Witchcraft was created hundreds of years ago, before Christianity. Christianity's adopted so many things from witchcraft. You blow out candles on your birthday? Guess what? You're practicing witchcraft. Do you have a lucky keychain? Guess what? You're practicing witchcraft. Do you have a tree up at Christmas? Guess what? You're practicing paganism and witchcraft.
Yep.
So you want to school me on witchcraft? Let's do it. I am ready.
It's true.
He has a room that is themed behind... I'm sorry, I'm looking for the words, so just give me a minute. Blair Witch Project from like 1998, 1999 documentary. Like it was portrayed as a real documentary. It was scripted. So he has sticks and stones hanging from the ceiling, along with handmade pentagrams, inverted pentagrams with sticks and stones and twigs, circles, obviously pentagrams. And I'm like, oh God, don't get me started. Don't get me started. Because witchcraft was predominantly created with women involved. And the reason the hangings and the burnings took place was because men and society and the governments wanted to take away the freedoms that women were creating within covens. They were and it wasn't about the magic part necessarily. It was the camaraderie that the women's were creating with making a society for themselves during a time where they were being extremely repressed. They were having to walk in their husband's shadow. They were being put in asylums for no reason. Witchcraft is much more than what you just say it is. That's not what Hollywood portrays it to be. Don't start me on my feminist movement, because I will blow up. So I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's do this witchcraft room. She's like, well, we have to warn you first. Why am I being warned? Well, you have to agree to want to go in. Why do I have to agree to go in a witchcraft room? Why are you creating fear with people with this? Because Zach purchased a severed head from a woman who was sacrificed during a Wiccan witchcraft spell. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, I think I just had a seizure. I'm sorry.
That was like mind blowing.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Zach purchased a severed head from someone that was sacrificed during a witchcraft. First of all, if someone's sacrificed, that's like black magic, possibly hoodoo, voodoo. We're not talking just witchcraft or Wicca or pagan. So get those words out of your mouth real quick. Mm-hmm. Okay? Mm-hmm. This is dark. This isn't like, and second of all, you're talking about a human sacrifice? Oh, you are. This is a human head? Oh, okay. So a person was abducted against their own free will, tortured by Satanist, black magic, whatever the dark side of magic is that you want to say. Tortured probably for days, if not weeks, and eventually they were decapitated. And Zach owns that head, and now it's on display for people to walk by it. Like it's a freaking trophy? Are you freaking kidding me right now? Do you understand what a sacrifice means? That means that person did not agree to it. Like, there are some cultures where, like, people will agree to be sacrificed to the gods. But the way it was being portrayed in this was it was not agreed upon to be sacrificed. And then, so this person was tortured and abused in the worst way possible, given their body and soul to Satan, and now you have their head on a freaking display. Are you kidding me right now?
It's wrong, and it's spreading major misinformation, titling it just like witchcraft. It's just such a broad term, you know what I mean? And clearly, if something of that regard is happening, it's dark.
Now, of course, you know, I told some of my crew about this when I got home. The first thing is like, are you sure it was real? Well, Zach collects weird stuff anyway. He has a severed hand. He has a brain. Those are in formaldehyde. He has the skin that was obtained from the science lab. So yes, he does collect body parts. It's clear. He has Charles Manson's ashes. Are you really going to question that this is real or not? So you have to agree if you want to go in and see the severed head. By the way, they didn't say how old it was. I assume it's 100 or 200 years old. By the way, how does one obtain a severed head? By the way, who the hell is carrying around a severed head for 200 years? I mean, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who the hell has been keeping a severed head around so they can... What? I have so many questions and it makes no sense, and if you, anybody, even to this day, Kat, agree with me or disagree, do sacrificial things that are illegal still take place with human sacrifices today?
I mean,
obviously. No, it does. Yeah. They find people dead all the time in the woods that they were a part of some sacrificial thing and they don't know who was a part of it. There were ghost hunters that stumbled into a haunted location in Alabama a couple years ago, and they stumbled upon a dead body of a woman that was missing, and they believed that she had been taken part against her will and put in a satanic sacrifice in a haunted house, in a haunted asylum, and her body was left there. Sacrifices still take place to this day. Mm-hmm. To this day. Mm-hmm. When you are a sacrifice, I would say 90% of the time it's not by will. Don't you hear stories of people finding dead bodies, pregnant women, animals? Those people don't go willingly. Are you telling me a pregnant woman goes willingly to a sacrifice? Absolutely not. And now you have this person on display that suffered a tormented death. I saw it. It also has carvings in the face and the skin. It was as real could be. It's on display inside of what they call a pagan witchcraft Wiccan room that looks like Blair Witch. And I am utterly disgusted by it. My friends were like, you know, Krystal, the museum's cool. Like, there was some cool haunted stuff, but they were like, the Hitler thing just doesn't set well with me. I don't want to see a sacrificed head. I didn't come here to see that. I came here to experience ghosts and paranormal. I didn't come here to see a rotten old body part. Like, you know, I beg your pardon. Like, I know that sounds rude. This person was obviously mutilated in their last moments on this planet Earth. But why are we putting it on as a trophy in this room? We are beyond macabre at this point. Whoever decided to do this, and I don't know if it was Zach. I don't know if it was a crew decision because he has a huge personnel working behind him with the museum now. But why are all of you deciding that this is okay to do? This isn't even like paranormal related. This is like straight up macabre. This isn't even macabre. Like, this is like worse than that. You know, like, what happened in your childhood that was so bad that makes you think that this is okay?
Yeah. No. It's just, it comes out of left field and it makes no sense. It makes zero sense, and it also, you know, isn't right that they don't like prep people for that, especially with the head.
My friends did not like it, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
and I didn't want to go in. I didn't want to go in, but I needed to see. I needed to know. And I was like, this has got to be a joke. This has got to be a joke. It's not a joke. And I mean, also, I like ghosts and stuff, y'all, but I'm not the kind of person that enjoys looking at dead bodies. I'm just gonna be honest. I know that the skeletons are there, and he has those from, like, Missouri, I think, where he got them, or, like, New York, whatever. I feel like a skeleton doesn't say as much as, like, an actual dead body and, like, you know, morphed skin is all I can say. Like, you can tell it was, like, a rotting corpse. And what if that was your mom that was sacrificed? Like, I know that it's an old thing to have, but what if that was your relative? Would you want them on display? There's no words, is there? There's literally no words.
I have nothing to say because it's just so backwards to me. I don't understand, like, what is he thinking?
But now what he's saying is he's associating witchcraft, pagan, and so Wicca, paganism, and witchcraft with severed heads.
Well, and there's just so much information with it as well, because I think from what you told me, he had, like, pentacles hanging from, like, the ceiling.
Oh, you know what I said? And Valerie just said, I'm highly disappointed the way Zach's portraying this, all aspects of witchcraft, throwing every aspect into paganism in one pot. This is what the pagan community is deathly afraid of, is what he's doing.
Yeah.
This is what they're afraid of, because they've been shunned for hundreds of years because of being, society's afraid of the term witchcraft and paganism and Wicca.
Yeah, for that
They've
reason.
been shunned, which is why they changed their name to pagan. And now the name pagan's being thrown under the bus as well, making fear into it. And this is why people that practice witchcraft don't talk about it publicly, because they're scared.
Yeah, well, because they only paint it as human sacrifices and dark magic, and that is not the only aspect of it. And it's misinformation if he's going to sit there and mix dark magic with, pentacles hanging from the ceiling, which is not dark. Now, if it was inverted, yeah.
Some were, some weren't. But that tells you they don't know the difference.
They're not doing their research. They're just slapping it up there.
Well, and by the way, if you practice witchcraft or dark witchcraft, either one, and I mean, there's so many titles. It doesn't matter if it's hoodoo, voodoo, Satanism, black magic. It's all dark. Doesn't matter. There's just, it's different. Even La Brujeria can be dark. Doesn't matter. But it's either one or the other. You don't have a regular pentagram with an inverted pentagram. It's one or the other, not both.
Yep.
Good witches do not work with bad witches and vice versa. So they don't know what they're doing, clearly.
No. They don't. They don't. And no one's called them out on it because it's Zach. You're right. 100% right. Someone needs to start holding him accountable because, you know, people are going to start to get triggered and not go.
Is it a paranormal museum still?
No. I don't know what the hell it is. To be totally honest with you, I have no idea what it is at this point. It's a cluster of random stuff in a building at this point. It goes in so many different directions, I couldn't even tell you. Period.
I don't find it haunted. I find it it's a freak show.
Yeah.
And by the way, walking through there, like I walk through many like tour guides like that interact and walk through, and like I have heard I don't want to say every. I won't use the word every. But this includes when we showed up and the girl was like don't compliment me because I have no soul. I sold my soul to Satan or whatever she said. I don't even know. I can't tell you how many people I walked by that work in the museum that told me that they're Satanists.
Yeah.
And I'm like attracts like. What happened? Wow, it got really dark in here all of a sudden. And I just, and I don't, yeah, but I don't think it's safe for people to be going in there, you know, around, are the people working for him a Satan cult now? Satanic cult? It's what it looks like a little bit.
It's between employees. It's between the safety concern with the lack of light, with the stuff he put up, you know, the curtains. It's the concern of the Adolf Hitler oil painting.
Oh my God.
And all of the other random assortment of items that are spreading misinformation and is just wrong to have up there in the first place.
I'm confused.
You know, and Elfie just made a good point. She said, you know, the macabre can be done tastefully and with respect. This is just a build up to shock and freak people out. And I agree with that. It's total. He's not thinking. I think he's just kind of doing whatever he wants and not really thinking there'll be repercussions.
A couple of people are like, oh, so apparently the severed head just got there a couple days ago, and so did the oil painting, okay, from Hitler. And they're like, yeah, whenever we get new items, like, you know, energy in the museum gets stirred up. Okay, cool, whatever. And they're like, yeah, yesterday, a woman, like, or a man, somebody passed out, got sick in one of the rooms, and they had to call 911 and bring EMS in. And they're like, Zach, it made Zach really excited because it means like bringing in the painting and the severed head worked.
That's concerning.
That's what the tour guide said.
That is messed up.
So he's wanting people to like pass out and have to be taken out by ambulance?
I mean, I'm just saying, if the wrong person hears that, who's to say that it can't be shut down?
I really don't know anything. I haven't talked to him in a few years because I've been busy. So I can't, you know, normally, like, yeah, it's funny because people are like, oh, Krystal always backs him up. I do. He's a good filmmaker. He's a damn good filmmaker. I learned a lot from him. There are no regrets on that whatsoever. He knows what he's doing when it comes to film. He's a genius. He wouldn't be 25 seasons in if he wasn't a genius.
It's true.
The museum is amazing, but I don't know what he has done to surround himself with such dark people. And in the top, and it proves it with not only the items that are in there, how many of the workers I heard said practice dark magic and Satanism, and the way that we were treated when we walked up to the table with the one girl. I really think that they're like, I think that, and I'm just, it's an opinion, that it just sounds like they're practicing occult stuff outside of work together, and I'm talking like really dark stuff. And do I think that's safe for people to be around? You know, there's two sides of Satanism, so let's not use that word to freak people out either. I'm trying to break the barriers and give people common sense. There's two sides to Satanism. I'm not going to go into it, but there's a side where it's a very hippie, free love side. I do what I want. I'm a Satanist. It doesn't mean that they do like dark stuff. It means like I do what I want. I don't follow a god. I'm a Satanist. I'm a free. Nobody controls me. I'm not part of society's norms. That's one Satanist. The other side of Satanism is exactly what you think it is, which is sacrifices and worshiping the devil and summoning in demons. And I mean, people are admitting it while I'm in there. They're talking to each other. The tour guides are chatting with each other in between when we're going to other rooms and like talking about satanic jokes and like black magic and like spells and like I'm just like, I don't know what's going on here, but I don't feel comfortable here. I'm not going to take my friends there anymore. He needs to like do an overhaul. They're like running a free for all. Like nobody's in charge is what I got. You know what I mean? Like there's a management issue going on. Like literally those tour guides, the girl up front that I dealt with, they are running that show.
That's messed up.
He is not in control anymore. And that's shocking to me because I do know how much of a control freak that he is on set because I've worked with him on set. And he's the kind that he runs a tight ship. He wants things to go a certain way. He has a certain vision. And so for this to be so displayed all over the place, I hope to God he can reel it in. I hope to God he can. But I should not have to get treated well just because they know I'm Ghost Girl. I should be able to be Joe Schmo from Kokomo coming off the street and be treated just as good as Ghost Girl gets treated.
Yep.
And it makes me sad. I don't want people to go there and have to go through what I did with my friends. It was embarrassing. That was bad.
Wow.
So, anyway, if you want to add any 2 cents on that.
No, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head with everything. It's wrong. The way that the establishment is now being run is wrong. And it just needs a total redo. It needs a total redo.
Whoa.
It's not right. It's not right.
It's dark. It is dark. It is like,
I was shocked.
Like physically dark. Mentally it's dark in there. Emotionally it's dark. Like, yeah, it's like, it's really bad. Like, it's really bad in there, like on every level.
I mean, it makes sense why, the liability, forms or the waiver forms are like 1 million pages long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's still not acceptable.
Yeah, I didn't even
much longer.
I didn't read my waiver like super well. I did get a copy of it in my email. I should open it just to see what it says.
Yeah, I'm curious because I'm sure it's been changed.
It says here, we've sent you copies of your waiver, and everything's done digitally now. You don't do it by hand. Okay, so should I go through the waiver? Do you guys want me to go through the waiver?
Do it. You
interested in it? Okay, the Haunted Museum Tour, Las Vegas. It says all guests must be at least 16 years old to enter the room. If you are 16 or 17, you must be accompanied by a parent or a guardian. In consideration of being permitted to participate in this tour, I hereby acknowledge the following. The first one you have to sign is, I understand that my participation and involvement in this haunted tour at the said address in Las Vegas includes spirit detection activity, interaction with spiritual and or unexpected phenomena and or unexplainable, unusual paranormal activities or interactions which necessarily include certain risk which may not be foreseeable. The second one says, I acknowledge the risks associated with the Haunted Museum Tour caused by me, others around me, third parties, or whom I have no control with, body injury, damage to property, emotional distress, death, or harm. So he's literally saying if you die being a part of the tour, it is not my liability.
Wow.
I understand the risks associated with the Haunted Museum Tour. I don't think that was in there before. I don't like the word death. I don't think.
No, because I remember you did a video on the waiver when you first went.
I did.
On YouTube.
Yeah.
And it was not in there.
I understand the risks associated with the tour. Even those risks, I freely and willfully desire to participate in the Haunted Museum Tour with those risks. I hereby waive and release and discharge any and all claims to damage or harm due to personal injury, death, or property which I may have, or which that hereafter accrue after the resultant participation of the tour. This release is intended to discharge in advance Hellfire Media, Zach Bagan is the Haunted Museum, and their representative owners, officers, directors, agents, and employees from any and all liability arising out of the connection in any way participation with the tour, even though the liability may arise out of negligence or carelessness on parts of those in the parties. It is understood that the activities, such as the ones I will be participating in, involve an element of risk or danger of accidents or unknown, unexplainable paranormal activity, and knowing those risks, I hereby assume those risks. Please initial here. The next one, I agree. And to hold harmless Hellfire Media. So he's saying you're relinquishing rights to his production company. Zach Bagan's Haunted Museum, and their representatives, their owners, officers, directors, agents, and employees from any loss, liability, damage, cost of expense, which may occur in the result of death or injury to property that may sustain while participating in activities. So he's saying if you die here or die after from being a part of this, I will not pay for your funeral or expenses. Or like the people being pulled out by an ambulance, he will not pay for their ambulance or their... Yeah, I wonder what a lawyer would say about this. I have my friend Erica. I wonder if I should call her and send this to her and see how it would fly.
That's crazy.
The next one is the waiver release assumes the risk, and it binds to what I'm saying. Like, you're agreeing. Like, they're literally making you sign and re-sign it. So it's multiple, like, it's the same thing re-signed. You know what I mean? I understand that participating, I consent to photo, image, and footage taken by the staff during activity can be used in publications and websites. He snuck in an NDA in there.
Wow.
So an NDA disclosure says if you're in the room while paranormal activity happens, I can put you on TV. It's what it says. Which, you know what? I'm in a contract currently, and I could have just been effed if I didn't read that.
Oh my gosh.
Whoop. All right. Anyway, I am aware that this agreement is legally binding and that I am releasing legal rights by signing it. So he's saying sign it again. I have read the above terms and conditions and full-by acknowledge them. Sign it again. Date it. Full name, last name, phone number, email address. And then you have to electronically sign it.
So 5 times you have to sign it.
I can count. Hang on. Woo! I should have read that. You know what I mean? Whoop! That's what you get. People don't read it. They're like, oh, I want to go in. They're so desperate to go in, they just sign it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 signatures.
I mean, maybe you should just make some changes to the museum, and then, you know, you wouldn't have to sign that many little boxes. You know what I'm saying?
Well, not if he wants harm to be done. That's why he brought in Hitler.
That's so bad. That is messed up. That's messed up.
They said it makes him excited when dramatic things happen, like they have to call in EMS.
Well, then, you know, I don't know. He needs some Jesus, because
Respect
that
of
is
life.
ridiculous.
Respect of life. Is it gone? Is it gone?
He's gone too far.
Well, it's been a 2-hour stream, man. That was a long.
That was the tea.
That's all I've got, guys. Do you have any questions, concerns? I can't answer if you. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell. What's going on? I wish I could tell you. I don't know what's going on.
Someone said, so does this confirm he's trying to kill Aaron?
No, I mean, I think Aaron thoroughly enjoys like being scared, and like he enjoys it's not the same as the museum. You know what I mean?
Someone asked, did Ed follow you home again?
Oh no, girl, I saged. No, the minute I got home, I was smoked the house out. I did hear noises last night though. I was in bed, and I had to do some work, so I was up till about 1 a.m. working. And I sometimes if it's late at night, I work in bed on my laptop, and that's what I had done. And I was just about done on my laptop, and I thought I heard howling outside my back window. And we do have coyotes in the area, but I've never had one like in my yard. You know what I mean? And I was like, that's right, boo. You stay out there, because you know what? I saged, okay? Enjoy the patio.
All I think of are the hellhounds.
Enjoy the backyard, because I saged. And no, I'm not opening the door, because I'm not stupid, okay? Have a good night. Bye.
Bye, good night.
Bye.
Oh my gosh.
But then
that's
I did
so-
hear, we have security, 24 security where I live, because I live in a guarded, gated community, thank God. And like there's cameras all over my community, so like even if somebody was like on the foot running, like our security would see it, you know what I mean? But I have a really big brick wall, and what is like 8 feet, Kat? How big is my brick wall in the back? It's pretty big.
Yeah, it's about 8.
8 or 10 feet. It's huge.
Yeah, 8 to 10 feet. Mm-hmm.
And so I have a door in my bedroom that leads to my patio, and it's the only room in the house that has like an extra door, and it's just lovely, because like in the summer you can just leave the door, it's very nice.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm.
But I did, after the howl, I heard someone shaking the door handle a couple times. I was still like, bye. I know you're out there. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the nightlight, Ed. Because no, you're not coming in here, okay?
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah, so I do think I got followed home, but he was in the backyard all night. That's not my issue. I do need to, I should probably do a salt ring around my house and sage it. Like how I do with, like, baking soda and vinegar and, like, sage and salt. But I've been too lazy to do it, so I'll do it next. I just haven't done it yet. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
If Ed's here, he's in the backyard. Not my issue.
It's true. He's chilling in the back. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to do anything. He can't get in.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, any more tea that we want to spill?
Wow. No, that was just a wild ride.
Will you go to the museum now?
No. No. Not right now. I think it needs some space. You know what I'm saying?
I think it needs some sage.
We need some sage and we need some space. Okay? Just, yeah. That's a whole lot of nope from me.
He needs to ring it in here in more ways than one. We need to get...
I feel like it... I don't know. I get the feeling like, is it under construction, or are things still like going on with it? Because I feel like if that's the case, he shouldn't have it open. Like, he should just wait until it's safe and like done.
There is...
So that's annoying.
There is a section that's under construction that we were not allowed in. So I don't... That area, it looks complete. And then the house that he purchased behind it, it looks complete or mostly complete. I don't know what he's going to do with those locations, but it looks complete. Yeah, I don't know. There was an 80s horror themed area that had poltergeist too. He had a couple Chucky dolls from the movies that he's purchased. But I don't know I don't know. That was like, you know what I mean? It was the last exhibit going into the gift shop, and it was just kind of, I don't know. Yeah. It wasn't really that great. It kind of looks like he's just like buying a bunch of crap like off auction houses and just like sticking it in there. Like it doesn't even have like the theme's gone. You know what I mean? Like open another museum then. I mean, maybe not with the Hitler thing, but like maybe you need like a freak show museum for the head, and like maybe you need like another eclectic museum with just random stuff. But like it's just like all over the place now that it just... And I still don't understand why he put a brick wall in the demon house room. I have no idea. It is like unappeasing, like more than you know. Like aesthetically, it just makes no sense. And then the fortress around the Dybbuk box, I have no idea.
That's just weird.
No.
I don't understand his brain, because before it was like really themed out really well.
It was great.
You know?
Yeah.
We went, and really beautifully done, smart.
Yes, he has two
like
Chucky dolls from the movie. He has two Chucky dolls, but honestly, they're just like and that's the thing. Like normally he does like, oh, it's like this is a section of Chucky, and he would make it look like Chucky's playroom or something. You know what I mean? But he literally has them like stuck in a corner on like a shelf, and you just like, and then there's Chucky smiling, and you're like, ugh. It's a little like, it just doesn't go. It just doesn't go.
Yeah, it's just like random assortments of stuff.
It's eclectic. It's like literally he just like got bored in quarantine and started buying a bunch of stuff, and like it's all there now.
I mean, that's probably what happened.
And at what point were you like, you know what, I should buy Hitler's fucking painting? I think that's a good idea. You know what I mean?
He's not using his brain. I don't know what the heck's going on.
That's all. I'm done.
He just needs a new brain.
I need to get off my soapbox now. Anyway, I just don't want my friends to be around it, and I'm not gonna go back there. I don't know what's happening. Don't at me on social media and ask me what's going on. I don't know. At him, I have no idea. I don't care either. I'm on my journey and I'm doing my thing and like I'm busy and but you know, I've always been upfront and honest with you guys at things that I experience with paranormal. And I don't know if it's because of the pandemic. I don't know if there's weird energy going on because of that. I have no idea. All I know is like that's a lot of money to not have a good experience on so many levels. And including the staff being so bad. Like, to me, that I live in Las Vegas. Customer service is a big deal here. Like, a big deal here. Because we have tourists in from everywhere. And, like, so, you know, especially when you're paying a hefty price tag for something, $50 to $90 a person is a pretty hefty price tag. I want the full experience. I wanted to be... I don't expect you to kiss my butt, but, like, be kind to your guests, for sure. I feel like that's not asking a lot.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the least you could do if you're going to be charging people like $50 to go in your museum. Right. You know, it's very basic customer service. I don't understand what's missing here. Like,
I also feel like even if you are a Satanist, you probably shouldn't just go around being like, I sold my soul to the devil. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that should be like a little bit more on the DL, like private. I feel like maybe like customers may not appreciate that. That's just my opinion.
That's messed up. That's messed up.
It scared my friends, like literally, and I was taken back because I was like, I was waiting for her to laugh. No, it was not a joke. It wasn't funny.
She was serious.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it.
And then I was like, wow, I was just trying to compliment you. My bad. Shouldn't have done that. Whew. Yeah, here's what I'm gonna leave this on. I am going to say that, you know, all witchcraft is not bad. All Wicca is not bad. All paganism is not bad. You know, you practice black magic if you're driving in your vehicle and you cuss out the car in front of you that cut you off. That is black magic, okay? And we've all been accused of doing that before. We've all yelled at somebody for cutting us off in the highway or whatever, okay? So first of all, I'm going to stand up for the witchcraft community and say that this is really, really wrong. And it's making them look bad, and this is the message that I've been trying to spread for a long time, is trying to straighten this out. And from a feminist point of view, it's even bigger problem, because witchcraft was used to escape, being muted by society and husbands, and we were property. Women were property. Witchcraft was an escape for that. So I don't like that either. I also, the energy is, I do not agree with the Hitler thing being there. And I have a full heart for anyone that has Jewish ancestors and may have experienced that, with people in their family that suffered. With my own family's genocide, I don't agree with it at all. On the flip side of that, too, I have gone on an extreme spiritual journey over the past couple of years, as has Kat, where we are very in tune with our spirit guides. We are very in tune and in contact with our ancestors, loved ones on the other side, our spirit team. We fully believe you have a full spirit team surrounding you. I don't want to call it religious, because it's not really religious, but they have helped me get where I am at this exact moment right now. I know that they were waiting for me to level up to a certain point of spirituality to where I was ready to be where I'm at right now. So I'm a firm believer in that, firm believer in the secret and attracting the law of attraction, attracting things towards you. I am an energy reader, being a paranormal investigator and an empath, sensitive, a woman. I think women in general have more empathy and sensitivity to situations. And with that being said, I have raised my vibrations at a very high level, and so has Kat. And I'm not meaning that in a point of people are below you. That's not what I meant. I mean their vibrations. How are you vibrating? What level are you vibrating at? That doesn't mean I'm better or worse than you. It just means I have worked on myself spiritually for a very long time to obtain the level that I am at, okay? It's nothing wrong or bad with anyone else. It's just where I'm my journey. With that being said, going in there yesterday, I have never been around more lower vibrational people in my life. Does that mean the side of like Satanism and the dark stuff? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know each of their own stories. I can just tell you that the energy in there was extremely low vibrational, and I will never take my friends into a location like that again. I don't even think haunted locations are that low vibrational, because you have a group of people, like I said, talking about practicing Satanism, being Satanists, and proud of it, and now they're clustered together in a little cult. And now they're feeling confident because they're together. And now they're spurting out that low vibrational energy all over. So if you go in there, you're going to feel it. I don't want to go back in there. I do not vibrate at that level. That doesn't mean I'm better than them. It just means I have heightened myself to an extremely high level with my spirit guides and ancestors and spirit team, that I that stuff falls away from me now. That's probably why the girl didn't like me when I walked up to her table.
Yep. Your light was bright.
My light was bright. I'm vibrating at a high level. I have a lot of confidence in my life and things that I'm doing. And she was at a different level than me. And it does feel dark. The energy in there felt extremely dark. And in more ways than one. And so that's all I can say. You go at your own discretion. I am not going to go back right now. I think that he needs to get his staff to pull their heads out of their you-know-what. And get his, it's concerning as a friend of his, because I know how much money he has put into that place, not only with construction, but getting it approved with the Historical Society, with all of the haunted items like he has in there. He has spent a lot of money on that, and it would be a shame to see his staff run it into the ground in the name of Satanism. And that's really all I have to say about that.
That's the tea. That's the tea.
And everybody go sage yourself when you walk away from this.
Sage your computer, your phone, the food you eat. Okay, you never know. Put on a fan. You know, cool down a little bit. It's great. Good time.
If you get hot, use that fan. You know, get some spritz, a little spray, mist yourself.
That's my 2 cents. On it. But no, I agree with everything Krystal's saying as well. 100%. 110%. I was shooketh when she told me all of this yesterday. I didn't even really know how to respond because it was just, I wasn't comprehending what was happening. And I don't think anybody really was, other than just I feeling gross. Like, what the heck?
Well, and honestly, like, I really hope that he can fix this.
Yeah.
I do. I don't wish anyone ill. Like, especially someone who was my friend. Like, I don't wish anyone ill. I hope to God he can fix this, considering how much money in it. It's an actual investment. I hope he can fix it. But once again, I'm glad I experienced it on a raw side versus announcing Krystal Ghost Girl Diaries is coming. You know what I mean? I was able to get the full actual experience that people get.
Yeah. I almost wonder, you know, from like a business standpoint, if he is micromanaging too much and he might need help. Like someone else to also like co-run it. Because
I know his
clearly,
stepdad
like,
helps.
It's just not working.
His stepdad helps, and his mom was there. I talked to his mother. I love his mom. Roxanne was there, and she knows me. She's given me, you know, stuff in the past for giveaways on YouTube. His mother's a doll. Like, his mom is a beautiful soul. That's all I have to say. Like, she has a heart of gold, and, like, she wants him to succeed. But, yeah, you know, I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm telling you, like, I think these people think they're getting away with treating customers like this, and they don't really know what's going on. And like, and you shouldn't be cussing in front of customers. You shouldn't be making fun of customers that are paying this kind of money. You shouldn't be belittling them. She was literally screaming at me. You could hear it from across the parking lot. Like, there's no social cues going on there. You know what I mean? Like, being polite, customer service. People are paying big money for this. Combative, argumentative, dark. You shouldn't be going around telling people you've given your soul to Satan. Like, I mean, who are you? I haven't even met you, and you're telling me that? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
A lot, clearly. You need to get your soul back, boo. You need to, like, just burn the contract.
Oh, God.
And then just get a fan and blow it away. No, it's just fan is just the highlight of the day. This mini fan, by the way, is like a godsend, right? I just wanted to point that out.
Oh my
Amazon
God.
for like $11. You just USB plug it in the computer.
Oh my God,
That's
Kat.
my plug today.
Dead. Anyway, that's it. I'm sorry it was a dark stream today. I just feel like I needed to tell you guys the truth of what I experienced. And that's it. And it's a shame. And like, I will say I hope it changes. I hope it changes for his sake. And I don't know. I don't deal with low vibrational people. That's really where I'm going to leave this at. I don't. I vibrate way up here, boo. Way up here. The people in my life are like very good, wholesome people. I have a beautiful circle of people around me, and I don't deal with low vibrational people.
Yeah. No.
And I hope hope fans wouldn't either. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Jesus, take the wheel.
No. Look,
Right.
it's just constructiveness. It's no hate.
No, it's not.
There's some things that need to be changed or removed. You know what I mean?
I don't think I'm wrong for
You're not.
he knows I'm opinionated. Why do you think everybody started scrambling when they figured out that I was there?
Yeah.
I knew when Bacon saw me, I was like, "Oh, man."
Bacon.
P.S. Bacon, I love you. If you're listening, I freaking love you. Bacon is such a wholesome, beautiful soul. Like, I love that dude. He's Zach's assistant. He is just always so good to me when I'm around him. Like, he is just a good damn person, honestly. You know what I mean? And it's hard to find somebody who is, because he works for Zach, so you think he'd get like a big head or whatever. You know, like, he's just so down to earth. I just love that guy.
I love that.
I do. Have you met him?
I haven't met him
Oh, you haven't?
yet.
Okay. He's
But I love
always,
him.
yeah, he's always he's just got a good soul. You know what I mean? Like, you feel it. And like, the first thing he said was like, "How are you?" You know, like,
that's
quarantine's
huge.
been hard. Like, how are you? Nobody asks that anymore. You know what I mean?
No.
So I was really happy I got to see him. So he was worth the $50, I guess. I didn't pay for it.
I've heard nothing but good things about Bacon.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He's a really good dude. So anyway, that's the tea. I'm tired. That was exhausting. I just need a break. I literally feel like I have a paranormal hangover today. I'm like actually tired from going there because it was just so dark in every way possible. Also, I was not prepared to fight with somebody when I arrived at the museum. You know what I mean? Like,
Throw hands.
I was a little thrown off for a minute. Like,
Someone with no soul.
you should have
okay?
seen
That's
me
a
look
lot.
at my friends. Like I told you, like the second like I opened my mouth, she's like, and I literally did this like slow turn to my friends, and I was like, they were like, "What is going on?" They were
What's
like,
happening? You're like, I have no idea.
I was like, I don't
No
know.
idea.
And then I was like, she'll calm down. Like, maybe, you know, people have bad days. You know, like, I get it. Like, we all have bad days. Oh, it just got madder.
She took it to another level
Woo!
with the soul thing. Yeah, get that back, boo. Okay.
Yeah, that was another level. Even if you did sell your soul, why are you telling people that? That's your fault.
I mean, that's true.
Or
You
whatever.
should try to find a way to get it back.
Or
okay?
you have
That's all
no
I'm saying.
soul? I don't. Okay, Ursula. I don't know.
Oh my god. Ursula, dead.
All right, I'm done. Bye, guys.
This was good.
Peace out. This will be uploaded as a something podcast.
This has been a long podcast. I can't believe it. It flew.
Oh yeah. P.S. We may get behind in podcasts here for a minute. I don't know. I'm having a tough schedule coming up, so I'll announce on social media if we have to skip one once in a while. I'm gonna try to keep it consistent, but there's some really big things coming that I can't talk about, and it'll be worth the podcast skip if you know what I'm saying. So make sure you guys take care. Go sage your soul. Make sure it's still there. Make sure the soul
Buy that
is still.
fan.
Yeah, be at the fan. Do the Beyonce thing. Like, give yourself some air. You know what I'm saying? Air it
With the
out.
tape.
And you know, stay away from low vibrational people. I think that's all. That's all I gotta say.
Stay away from people with no souls. That's not good.
Yeah,
You don't
please
wanna
do.
that.
Please do. Like, yeah, you need that like to function clearly, or else you'll talk through your teeth and get angry. Ugh.
Oh my gosh.